you very much. It's very exciting. This is my first time running for local council elections, so this is a tremendous experience and opportunity, and I'm very grateful to be here. I'm running for local council to bring a fresh voice and a fresh vision to our community. I want to see a greater amount of leadership for our local community. We've seen some magnificent growth over the past 15 years in Springfield. We've seen huge developments, we've seen some fantastic services and opportunities, but there's no benefit to the community if we don't own up to the failures or if we don't start addressing the problems that have been created through this development. I'm standing for council because I want to address these problems now before we reach the next stage of development. Over the next 15 years, it's already been alluded to, the amount of development coming will far outweigh what we've already seen. With a development plan that should see us stretch out from 30,000 to almost 100,000, potentially over the next 15 years. And this brings with it a whole new set of challenges. While I thank David, and I'm sure he's done a lot of great work over the past 16 years, I think it's time for a fresh face and a fresh voice to actually raise some of the challenges and the concerns that the residents have been raising with me, to make sure that the community are represented and we get a better deal in the next round of developments. The Springfield Master Plan has delivered a magnificent master plan community to the area, but I do have a lot of questions and concerns about the council's implementation of this development, and as well as the lack of community consultation in this process. I'm a business owner. I run several small businesses, and one of which is actually an IT company. And when I first moved into Springfield, I had to go on a waiting list for internet for 6 months, which actually completely crippled my ability to run a business in Springfield. I had to look at getting an office, and so I looked around the local area, but the rents were so high in an untested market, I had little foot traffic, that I ended up having to make the decision to move my business outside of the area and employ people outside of our local area. I had to commute every day like a majority of Springfield residents, simply because we lack the business resources, the support for local small businesses here in our area. It defies belief that a brand new modern development lacks the capacity to provide such a basic and fundamental service like internet. And if we want to consider ourselves a smart and modern, forward-thinking community, then these things need to be given greater priority. We have a rapidly expanding population here, I've already mentioned that, but we also have a very high unemployment rate. And this is going to be a problem, and it does not bode well for the future of our region. We don't need more PR spokespeople for developers. What we need is a council that's actually able and willing to address the needs of a changing and fast-growing community, and that's what I'm here to provide. If we want to reduce the congestion on the Centenary Highway and Old Logan Road, then that starts with local job creation strategies. We need new businesses, new small businesses, new industries and local opportunities. We need a public transport system that actually does work. The current state-funded infrastructure is fantastic, but the problem we have is the interconnectivity. We're not really promoting an active and public transport system. I'd love to see bikeways implemented now that actually attract home buyers to the area that aren't going to be using roads and bringing more cars into the area to promote more foot traffic. And this is going to help the future generations and the future community deal with the increased congestion. I bring energy, passion and innovation to the table in this election, and our community needs this. If every time we face a challenge, we compromise and that adversely affects the residents, then I don't see much hope for the future of our growing region. My focus, if elected, will be on small business, on creating new job opportunities for our residents. I want to focus on renewable energies to address the growing need for local councils to start talking and having serious conversations about climate change. And one of my initiatives is a community-owned renewable energy platform which will provide opportunity and investment in the local area in renewable energies. I want to see a greater focus on art and science education for the youth of our community. We have a fast-growing city, and the culture of a growing city demands more than church and sport, which are generally the only services available for the youth today. There are many challenges before us, and I'm eager to face these challenges head-on and deliver more for our local community. I'm here to provide a new voice and fresh leadership for Camura, for Springfield, and Division 1. Thank you very much for your time.
Just letting you know, if I feel as though you've answered the question in what you had to say, I won't ask the question. And you've answered part of the question. No, that's all right. That's very good. Saves me asking the question. Look, I'm going to put that last question to you first. The talk about this 10,000 apartments coming to Springfield, has that shocked you? How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I'm actually an advocate of high-density development, but high-density development does bring with it its own challenges. We do have some park spaces in the area, but I would argue that they're actually insufficient to meet the needs of such a heavily populated area. We've sacrificed a lot of our natural environment in our waterways, and we've created parks which are virtual ecological wastelands. If we want to create a better, stronger community and one that is actually sustainable, then we need to actually start looking at implementations of the new and improved climate science. We need better implementation in our planning department. And for me, I think this is not a negative comment to our council or our planning committee, but there's an institutional challenge in creating organisational change, and that's what needs to happen within our council. There is a whole lot more we now know about better, green, sustainable design, but we need to make that easier for our council, for our planning committee to implement, and we need to bring in the experts that are going to actually make this possible. I would love to see fantastic new developments in the area, but before that happens, I want to make sure that it's actually done right the first time, and I want to make sure we actually have the employment opportunities to cater for that growth.
Thank you very much.